Hey, what's up, Popaholics? I was able to get pretty much every Suicide Squad pop that's available right now. The ones I'm missing are the Target and Walmart exclusives, but as far as I know, those haven't hit the shelves. If one of you guys know the exact date when those will be available, please let me know in the comments below. I'm not going to go through every single box like I usually do because there is 12 pops and it's going to take forever. But I will show you what one of the boxes look like, just so you can see what figures are on the back and what the overall box art looks like. But I will open up each and every pop and tell you, which ones are my favorites, which ones are my least favorites. Just give you my review on the design choices they made and all of that good stuff. So this might be a little bit long, so just kick back and relax. Alright, let's start out with the Tuxedo Joker, which is the Hot Topic exclusive. I was really excited about this one because I think the Joker looks really cool in the trailer in the tuxedo getup. And the box art is pretty nice. I really like the Suicide Squad logo. I like how colorful it is. And I like this little gradient of blue to black to purple here. On these boxes though, I think it would have been way cooler if this was probably purple. I think it just goes more with the design of the logo and everything else, but the red isn't bad, but I kind of wish that was purple. As you can see, there is a whole lot of pops in this line. So the ones I'm missing out of here are this Joker in the suit, and I forget, I want to say that's going to be Walmart, and this one's going to be Target. I could have them mixed up, but it's one or the other. And there's also a Dr. Quinzel that's going to be either Walmart or Target, and she doesn't appear to be on the back of this box. And Enchantress has pretty much all but been confirmed is going to be in the Funko DC Mystery Box coming up. And I also read somewhere that there's going to be, I believe, a glow-in-the-dark Killer Croc, and I think that might be Barnes & Noble, and a hooded Killer Croc. And I'm not sure if that's going to be Walmart or something, but yeah, there should be a hooded Croc and a glow-in-the-dark Croc too, unless someone was blowing smoke. But yeah, I believe that's all the exclusives. Oh, and there's also going to be an FYE 2-pack of this Boxer Joker and this version of Harley Quinn, but in a metallic, which would be really cool. But there isn't an FYE next to me, and I mean, I'm already going to attempt to get 4 Jokers and 4 Harleys, so I don't know if I need 2 more, even though the metallic is really cool. But I do prefer to have pops in single boxes. I'm not a big fan of the 2-packs unless they're really awesome. So I think these will do for me. Okay, so this guy looks pretty amazing. I mean, look at that tuxedo and those fresh-ass wingtip shoes and that stance. It looks really cool. I like the way they did his grill. In the trailer, it doesn't appear to be just like silver cap teeth. Each one does kind of look different, and that would be really hard to mimic on pop form. But the way they do it looks pretty good. And the tattoos are super clean. He's got some nice tails on his coat there. The sculpting on the hair looks nice. Just reads like slick back green hair. Really cool. If I were to nitpick something on this one though, is I'm pretty sure that in the trailer his bow tie is pink. And I think a pink bow tie would have looked way better. I think just this white bow tie on here looks a little unfinished. And a pink would have really stood out, would have looked really nice. And give it a little bit of that Joker flair. And also his skin looks very flesh colored. Where the Joker skin is noticeably whiter than the other characters. And when I put him up close to like say Harley or the other ones, it looks almost the same color, his skin. And I'm not sure if in this new one his skin is supposed to be kind of chemically bleached white or if he's wearing makeup or what, but it is white. And here it tends to look kind of flesh colored. But all that said, he looks really cool and I'm really liking this Tuxedo Joker. Okay, so here's the most common version of the Joker. The only one I believe that's not an exclusive. And here you can really appreciate how clean they got these tattoos on there. I know a lot of people are kind of weirded out by a Joker that kind of looks like a Vato pretty much with all these tattoos and stuff. I'm not so much bothered by the tattoos. I do think what they chose to tattoo was a little silly, like the ha, the jester, and pretty much his own, villainous name were kind of, I think, not thought out as well as they should be. I think if they would have made them a little bit more mysterious or just more random, I think that would have been cooler. And I also heard someone say that the damaged would have been cooler if it would have been done in reverse. So only the Joker can see exactly what it says right away when he looks in the mirror. That would have been cool. I do like the J though. The J under the eye looks pretty fresh. But yeah, look how good they got the little rubber latex glove on here with the wrinkling next to the hand. It really does look like a latex glove. They did a good job with that. And his stance is pretty cool. He's just like, come at me. Kind of weird that he doesn't have tattoos on his back, though. You'd think somebody this heavily tattooed would have a big, crazy back tattoo. Not sure if they just never show that in the movie, and the Funko guys didn't know what to put there, or if he really doesn't have any back tattoos in the movie. But yeah, pretty cool. Captain Boomerang was one of the Suicide Squad members I was the least familiar with. So I went to go look him up online. And oh my god, does this guy have one of the goofiest, like, bad guy costumes I've ever seen. Like, with that stupid little hat and, like, the suit. And he's like, got like an ascot or something. And it's got these little boomerangs on it. It just looks super goofy. Like, I don't know how anybody could take him seriously. And just like the boomerang as your weapon just does not seem useful at all. Like what, are you going to throw a boomerang indoors? I don't know. I guess I have to see the movie to see exactly how that's going to work out. But this kind of updated design on him does make him look at least menacing. Like, I wouldn't want to, like, piss this guy off. And I think one of the best parts of this pop is this hair sculpt. It is really nice. But I can kind of already tell this is probably going to be the one with the sloppiest paint job. It's not the greatest around here, around his hand. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way or if that's just some light blue paint that got on there. But his jacket's done really well. I like that gold chain and where it says Captain. But the biggest paint flaw I see is the top of his beard stash here. It's flesh colored, so that doesn't look to be painted exactly right. It looks like the spray was off there. Kind of a biggie, but not too bad. This was the only Captain Boomerang they had in the store. I was talking to the GameStop guy. He told me that in the couple cases they got, there was only like maybe 2 katanas, 2 unmasked Deadshots, 2 boomerangs, and there was a lot more of all the other characters. So those 3 are probably going to be the more rare ones. So I grabbed them. There was only one of them, so I wanted to get him. Didn't want to search forever for him. But yeah, he looks really cool, and he is one of the ones I'm the most curious about, just because I know so little about him. Now this is the GameStop exclusive Harley Quinn, where she's in her prison uniform that she sexies up, of course, by tying it, showing her midriff. But yeah, I really like this one. I was really excited to get this one. I think if I would have had to pick one Harley to get, it would be this one. I like how the color in her hair is a little washed out, which makes total sense since she's in prison. And I do like how they gave her a different hair sculpt than the other ones, because they could have easily just done the same hair sculpt as the other Harley Quinns and been kind of lazy about it, kind of like they did with the Jokers. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite ones. And I'm glad that at least her tattoo where it says Rotten, like, I was almost expecting it to say Harley Quinn, because, you know, Joker has Joker on him. Diablo has Diablo on him. So at least they gave her something a little different. And I like the heart underneath the eye. Kind of sexy and very trashy and menacing at the same time. The Lucky You tattoo on her belly, though, seems a little... Let's do this focus. Seems a little off. Seems a little too far to the right. But again, I'm not sure if that's done that way because, you know, it's just wasn't planned out very well, like by the character, or if it was just an error in printing. But yeah, she looks really good. I like this one. And she does come with a stand because I'm not sure if she'll stand on her own. Yeah. Oh, she does. But yeah, really cool. And this is the common version of Harley Quinn, but she probably has the most amount of detail out of the 3 I purchased. I really like how the tattoos are upside down on her legs, because obviously she gave them to herself, and it makes her look really crazy. It says Harley and Puddin', and put it on this side too, which is what she used to call the Joker in the original cartoon. And her bat says good night. I like the little stance she's in. She's super sassy. And I like all these details on her jacket with the gold paint on the belt and the trim on the jacket here. And it says property of Joker in the back. And I can't exactly make out what the rest of this says, but it's super tiny and super clean. And the difference in the color of her legs and her skin is because she's supposed to be wearing tights. So you can still see that tattoo through the tights, but that's why they're a little bit different color. They're trying to mimic that kind of see-through tights look. And look at her little shoes. She got little high heels. It's funny how the Suicide Squad members get out of prison and the first thing they do is go, make sure they look on point. Because you can see here that on the prison version, her hair is kind of washed out. So she immediately went and got it repainted, puffed out, did her makeup. But yeah, it looks really cool. And I do like that. I do like when the common figure almost looks cooler than the exclusives. To be honest, this is a lot more detailed than the two exclusives. And I really do like that. The exclusives, they're nice that they're cool looking, but I do like when the commons are also worth getting because they are designed so well. And this is the Hot Topic exclusive version of Harley Quinn. I don't remember seeing her in this gown in the trailer, but I imagine since she's sold pretty much in the same store as the Tuxedo Joker, there must be some kind of scene where she's with the Joker and they go to some kind of ball or something and she's wearing her gown. I like the pose she's in, and I like how it's got the checkered on here, kind of like the Harley Quinn motif. I do like that, and I like just the gold. It looks really cool. I can already tell she's definitely not going to be able to stand without a stand because her feet look off. But yeah, I like that little pose. She looks real sassy. The paint job is perfect for all these tiny little details. It is done really well. I wish there was something a little different about the head, but if she doesn't change her hairstyle for that scene, then, why would they change the head? But I would imagine that if she's got a gown, she probably does have her hair a little different. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I do think this is the weakest out of the three exclusives. Well, from seeing the glam shots of Dr. Harley Quinn 2, I'd rather prefer to have that one if I had to choose only three, and this one would be the one that doesn't make the cut, but it's still cool. Just my least favorite of the Harleys. And this killer Croc figure is really amazing. When I first saw the trailers, I wasn't too excited by Killer Croc's design. I thought his head just looked really big. It looked like just a guy wearing a rubber mask. Even though I like the actor playing him, I can never say his name, but he was Adebisi in Oz and Mr. Echo in Lost. Really cool actor, really commands a presence. His name is very hard to say and I can never remember to say it right, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But I like that actor. Kind of a shame that he's covered under so much makeup. But I gotta say, the pop figure looks really good. Kind of hard to tell on camera, but these scales, they're not just painted like this. They're actually sculpted. And the way they painted it looks super, super good. And look how clean the teeth are and everything. This one just has a really amazing paint job and sculpt. This is one awesome looking pop. Definitely stands out amongst the other ones as one of the cooler ones, even though that may be in the trailer. Killer Croc is a little underwhelming to me, but I'll have to see the movie just to see him really in action. And this black and gold jumpsuit with the white looks pretty awesome. Like, I want one. I mean, it's just really cool. Like, I just really like this kind of gangster look they gave these guys. And look how fresh these sneakers are. Really cool design on the Suicide Squad Pops and characters in general. Now, Katana, according to the GameStop manager, is one of the rare ones, at least in his store, because they only got two. And I did see quite a bit of the Joker and Harley. Not the exclusive Harley, but the regular Harley. And I did see a lot of the dead shots with the white mask. And quite a few Diablos and Killer Crocs. But the Katana, they didn't have any when I was there. This is one of the ones I pre-ordered, so luckily they held one off for me. And she seems to have a pretty decent paint job. I don't really see any flaws except for right here a little bit of fuzziness from the white, but it's so tiny you can hardly notice that. I only see it because I'm looking at it so close. But I do like the way they did her scars and just the contrast of the white and black with the Japanese rising sun here in the head. Her little stance, the way she's holding the, what was that called, the scabbard for her sword, looks really nice. Again, these all have these really tiny details on here that are done so well. And I like the little sash. Just a really, really cool looking pop. And the hair sculpt is really nice. They really outdid themselves with these Suicide Squad pops. I think they're some of the most colorful and best looking ones that I even own now. Really, really like them. And here's Diablo. This guy looks really cool. One of my favorite things is he's got 213 right here in his hand, Los Angeles area code. He's got his belt hanging down like it's 1998. Little gold chain. Pretty sweet jacket here. Got the white sneakers. I do like how they made these like guys look like little homies. Got his little gang jacket on there. Oh, it looks like a biker gang jacket. Pretty awesome. Not sure exactly what that is, but looks like that's part of his gang too. And I looked up Diablo online because he's another one I wasn't too familiar with. And from looking at the design of the comic book Diablo to this one, I really do like the way they updated it for the movie and made it like crazy facial tattoos. Because, I mean, this guy looks scary. I mean, this guy is just a type of Mexican dude you don't ever want to run into. I'm guessing that's probably the people he's killed or something right there. But the one thing I don't like, and this is not a critique on the pop, it's just a critique on the design choice they did for the character, was, again, with the putting their own name on there. Like, who does that? Like, who's going to go tattoo their own name like that? But maybe that's why they call him Diablo, and that wasn't, you know, maybe this tattoo came before people called him Diablo or whatever. But 3 little dots on his hand there. All the tattoos look really cool, really well applied. Paint is perfect on this one. Looking forward to seeing this guy in action. Now, this is one of the ones where, you know, instead of like so many Joker and Harley Quinn exclusives, on exclusives with Diablo, maybe with his hand kind of like up like this, with some translucent fire coming off of it. Now that would have been awesome. Maybe they'll do something like that in the future, but I would have liked to see maybe a variation of him doing that instead of so many Harley Quinns and Jokers. Because he really is a cool looking pop. And it is nice to have at least a Latino character in there, because you don't see too many Latino characters in comic book movies, even though this guy is kind of a stereotype of a Latino. I guess I have to see the movie too, just to hear exactly how he talks and everything. But he looks cool nonetheless. Here's Deadshot, and he looks really cool too. I like the Deadshot with the mask better than the unmasked one, just because the way they got the stitching on this mask done and everything, it really does read like it's white leather that's custom made for this dude's head. Looks really cool, and I like this little piece over his eye. Even though I think this might have been cooler if they would have used some like translucent materials to make it look like a lens, or a little bit more like a lens. But that's a small nitpick because it looks cool. And his gun is really awesome. I believe it says, "I am the light, the way." So pretty cocky there. But yeah, pretty cool gun. Pretty cool stance. A lot of good details. Pretty decent paint job. Yeah, Deadshot looks really cool. And I'm also curious to see him. I want to see how much Will Smith is going to Will Smith it up in the movie. Hopefully he does take it seriously, because it's very hard for me to separate Will Smith, the actor, from whatever character he's playing. I always see just Will Smith being Will Smith in the movies, but we'll see. And it doesn't appear that he's going to be the main character, so that's kind of cool that he's willing to play a supporting character. And here's unmasked Deadshot. Now, one of the things I really, really like about pop figures is, I mean, look at it. How much does that look like Will Smith? And you can't pinpoint exactly why, because it's not like they made his ears big, because they're like the same size as all the other ears, and his eyes are like the other eyes. The only thing they can do differently is maybe that beard and a little bit of eyebrows, but that freaking looks like Will Smith. And it's just really impressive how they can do that with such little detail. Now, you know, I would have liked this figure a lot more if they would have made a little bit different stance, because it's exactly the same as the masked Deadshot stance. Like, maybe if this guy was holding his gun maybe up this way, or on his back maybe, and holding pistols. Something different, I think, would have been nice. I hate when they just change the heads up like that. And I know designing a new figure is, you know, costs a lot and everything, but it does disappoint me when they just change the heads up like that. I mean, if they're going to go out and design a new head, I mean, why not just design a new body? Is it really that much more expensive? They're still going to sell a bunch of them. And they probably will sell more, you know, if it was a different stance. Because, to be honest, just the only reason I wasn't originally going to get this one, and I wasn't originally going to get Rick Flagg, because I believe they're the two most boring pops in the whole line. But since there are so many of them, I'm like, do I really not want to complete my set by not getting just two of the figures? So I just went ahead and got him, mostly to complete the set. And he does look cool unmasked, and it is cool because it's Will Smith, you know. I don't think I have a Will Smith pop, so I did want to unmask Will Smith, but I do wish they would have maybe gone the extra mile and made his body a little different. And last, and definitely least, is Rick Flagg. Now, this was a total completing the set purchase because I think he looks extremely boring. He's my least favorite out of all of them. I mean, look at him. He looks like he could be from the Call of Duty line or a G.I. Joe line or something. He just looks like a very generic army guy. I mean, even the way he's holding the gun, I don't like it. But, you know, he is an important character. He's done relatively well, but I find him to be very boring. Just a very boring design overall. And it's not so much Funko's fault, it's just, you know, the character, that's the way he looks. But, yeah, definitely a completionist type of purchase, Rick Flagg. So as you can see, this is one big haul of pops for pretty much one day of purchasing. You know, I want to say that, okay, so pretty much my least favorite is Rick Flagg. And my favorite, I think, is the normal version of Harley Quinn. So, you know, I might even get that metallic version of her and the Joker, just because I do like this design so much that I kind of want to get that metallic version because I know it's going to look that much cooler. The one I was the most surprised by is Killer Croc, because he's not my favorite character in the world, but he looks really good. I would say he would be in my top 4 out of these two, along with Katana and the Tuxedo Joker. I really like how he looks too. But pretty much all of the pops in this series are very impressive. I really like them all, and definitely recommend getting them if you are a fan of these characters, or if you're just excited about this movie, or just pops in general, because they all do look really good. Funko really went above and beyond with this series, and I'm pretty happy to add all of these to my collection, except for you, Rick Flagg. You kind of suck. But yeah, Suicide Squad, excited to watch it, and thanks for watching this video, guys.